This is a declaration of feud against the Federation. I have been wrong. They have taken severe damages by the hands of the Federation. This was done without prior aggression from my side. And because I cannot find a court that is willing to award me compensation for these unnecessary acts of aggression towards me, I will enact a feud against the Federation and will get the compensation myself. I have been sent by the Federation to the loop system upon reaching the ranks of midshipman, at which point the Federation told me to take part in the current struggle in the loop system. Upon arriving there, I have been come repeatedly under fire by Federation ships, which at first glance I took for the actions of just a minor splinter group of ships or some kind of faction, and I carried on with my mission that was given to me by the Federation in the HR-17 system. These missions needed me to take part in visiting the combat zones, the low conflict zones and the high conflict zones around Lu 6 or Lu 5, and fighting on the side of the Federation against the Crimson State group, which I took part in, and to my amazement found out that when I destroyed so-called enemy ships, I did not receive any combat bonds, as were promised to me by the representative of the Federation in the HR-17 system. Furthermore, when entering the conflict zones, my allies from the Federation started to attack me, and I effectively came under fire from all participants of the fight when I declared my allegiance to the Federation. I then, after realizing this and after confirming that indeed I was not awarded any combat bonds by the present Federation pilots, exited the conflict zone and started to go back to the local representation of the local representative of the Federation in the next station, which was on hand.
Under attack.
And
Atmospheric failure.
when entering that, I again came under heavy fire and suffered severe damages
Cabin pressure alert.
on the hands of Federation ships and captains.
Cabin pressure alert.
My ship has been repeatedly damaged and even destroyed
Under attack.
on the hands of Federation captains, which culminated in roughly 1 million credits of damages.
Cabin pressure
because
alert.
the Federation is unwilling
Shields
to
online.
award me these damages, I have enacted the feud and
Shields offline. Taking damage.
have
Target
since
destroyed.
then
Under attack.
contacted the so-called enemy of this Crimson State group, which
Frameshift drive charging.
welcomed me with open arms and disregarded my former
4, 3,
trespassing against them
1. Engage.
in exchange for my help in fighting the so-called rightful government. This is a message to all Federation captains which are participating in the current actions in the Lu system
Cabin pressure alert.
to perhaps revisit their allegiance to the Federation and to revisit and perhaps recheck if their so-called employer and rightful government is really appreciating what they're
Cabin
doing,
pressure alert.
or if they are perhaps, like they were with me, dishonest with them and cause
Cabin
them
pressure
damages,
alert.
while there are other parties that will reward the earnest jobs and the earnest work that a commander can do in the Lu system in a more friendly manner. On behalf of
Cabin
the
pressure alert.
Crimson State
Landing
Group,
gear
I
deployed.
extend a warm welcome to any commander that is willing to come over to
Docking successful. Engines
the
disengaged.
night dock, as you can see here, of the Crimson State Group and is willing to lend a hand in expelling the recent aggressions and aggressors of the Federation, which have invaded the Lu system.
Cannot comply.
I, for one, will take the damages that were caused by the Federation to me from their cold dead hands,
Ship released. Engines
and
engaged. Landing gear
will
retracted.
continue to do so for all other damages that were caused to me in the process of doing so.
Scan detected.
I do not wish harm to any other player and any other commander in this system, but
Scan detected. Frameshift drive
this
charging.
current pass is the only pass given to me by
4, 3, 2, 1.
people
Engage.
that I've worked with for a long time and that until the recent actions I actually considered to be my allies. If you have perhaps suffered a similar fate by these Sciatons that are called the Federation, I invite you to share your experiences in the comments below and perhaps show the light and the true face of these evils to other players so that they can see more clearly and perhaps reevaluate their current allegiances. I thank you for watching this video and hearing my plea, and hope to welcome you on the next one. Goodbye.
Docking request granted. Scan detected. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.